What's going on, Master Duel fans? James here again. At the time recording that this video is getting posted, I decided to call it quits on the Duelist Cup because we already got all of the gems needed, grinded out throughout the whole entire Duelist Cup. Deck profile for you guys, Stage 1, Level 19. That is my final calling. I'm not going to go any further. So, realistically, whatever happens on Duelist Cup, it happens. So, deck profile for you guys. Starting off fresh, for the Aroma side of things, 1 Rosalina, 1 Laurel, and I usually put these 2 cards as the very first thing because 1 card starters, aka Rosalina, shouldn't lead you to a massive complete disaster of a big board. This enables Rosalina to become like a tour guide of non-tuner aromas, and the moment she's resolved, you're locked into plants, which is 100 million % of the whole entire archetype is literally nothing but plants to some degree. And then 3 Jasmine. The draw cards is absolutely insane if you have multiple Jasmines out. And then the double summon of Jasmine definitely comes up a lot, especially if your opening hand is Jasmine, a card that gains life, and another card in terms of plants to summon. That's guaranteed Jasmine or Sylvan Dance Peon 100%. And then Aroma Kananga, just one of it. Kananga Control is absolutely nice because back row decks in general, if they don't have answers to stop Aroma Kananga, you could just pretty much put the back row cards back one by one, so that way you are basically putting your opponent on pressure against back row decks. 1 Rosemary, the beat down version of Rosemary. It definitely came up, or she definitely came up twice because, first of all, really good attack stat for that matter, and then second of all, versus stun decks is where if I do not have any offensive plays going, Rosemary can keep monsters down on the field, and it makes it so that Rosemary is basically a one-woman wrecking crew. And the higher in life effect to enable all plants benefiting no monster effects to the end of the damage stat, that comes up on a small occasion. So that way, cards such as Honest and or Battle Fader are completely dead, and it's guaranteed lethal every time in an offensive combo with Rosemary as a game pusher. Aroma Marjoram, favorite aroma of all aroma monsters, because versus Yubel specifically, especially the fact that Nightmare Pain is such a hassle, as long as you control this face-up main deck Marjoram, the first line of text says it all. No battle damage from battles involving plants while your life is higher. So, Nightmare Pain, Gusto, Beings Freeze, Mechanicos, there's never an issue at all. And then Bergamo. Bergamo is enabling all plants do pierce battle damage as long as your life is higher, guarantees death to your opponent. If your opponent doesn't find a way to make my life points become lower, with some exception of the continuous traps, which I'm showcasing a bit later, then Bergamo and plants are going to trample defense monsters, and it completely hurts them. And then 3 Aroma Garden and 1 Gardening, life point manipulation, healing up, nothing else left to say. Aroma Blend, dumbest card ever printed. Like, first of all, I don't know why it's a rare for starters. Should have been a super. And more importantly, this enables Blend to choose any one of these 3 winds from hand or deck to place them face up on the field, and then while your life is higher, it enables Miracle Fusion for plants as a card. And then when it comes to the winds, continuous traps, Humid Winds is for very early game on, in case if you don't have a Aroma monster to start with. And then if you do have an Aroma monster to start, like if you got your combos off at the very beginning, you can just choose Blessed Winds, and it makes it so that you can either extend by paying 1,000 to call it a haunted any Aroma, or you can send 1 plant from hand or face up, or shuffle 1 plant from graveyard back to the deck so you can gain a 500 life. The life point resource gain matters a lot. And then if for some reason you got both Humid and Blessed, Dried Winds is the way to go, so that way you are preparing to destroy face up monsters your opponent controls. Aroma Healing. Healing is nice, especially the fact that this card can be discarded off from something like Aroma Blend, and it makes it so that its secondary effect, aka the graveyard effect, is always live, which is to extend an Aroma, and you're able to gain 500 life. The first effect about Aromas in attendance, that comes up like once or twice, rarely, every now and then. Oh, and Aroma Seraphia Angelica. Literally the last Aroma card. The idea about Angelica is past turn 3 or later in a grind game scenario, the moment you have your Aroma monsters out on the field, and it doesn't matter which ones you choose based off from your plays and all, ditch the Angelica from your hand to gain life points as long as you have a legal Aroma target in your graveyard, and it makes it so that literally main deck and extra deck Aroma effects, getting their effects off, mandatory and guaranteed. The Link and Fusion are optional. For the Rikka cards, 1 petal, only 1, because specifically between Petal and Jasmine, in terms of the level 1s, you just rather see those at a proper time, because you don't want to get hand trapped too early in the game. If you get ashed, Imperm, Veiler, or any other hand trap in any shape or form at the very beginning of the combo, you literally lose. So 1 Petal, 1 Primula, 1 Princess. These 2 is usually be what I search off from Glamour 99.99% of the time, and then 1 Mudan to get the Con, to get the Rikka spells and traps going, and then Snowdrop, that's in case if you already have either Petal or Rosalina in your hand, and if you never used either one of those effects, you are guaranteed combo every time. And then the 1 Glamour, Con, Sheet, and Tranquility. Pretty straightforward. And then the non-engine, I suppose. So most cases, 2 Lone Fires, Heart and Soul, and then 3 of the best plant monster. It is absolutely insane because this card lets you fix your brick hands, especially the fact that if you have the 3 Fragrant Storm, and it makes it so that you are able to take the bad cards out and keep the good cards in the top of the deck, aka plants. So that way you want to keep your hand advantage and field advantage as possible. Fragrant Storm plus Bob Baboon equals guaranteed excavation, off from the Sylvan Link 2 which we'll showcase later. And then 1 for 1 because you got 4 level 1s. But when it comes to those level 1s, mainly it is Petal and Rosalina, these two, because extra copies, of course. And then Ready Fusion for the sake of Rose Spectre done. And then Ready Fusion can be really annoying when it comes to the life point manipulation, but at the same time, if you know how to put up a combo without wasting your normal summon or wasting the potential threat, then you're basically in a pretty good spot to some degree. Call by the Grave, Blizzard, and then Board Breakers, Harpy's Feather Duster, Triple Tactics Talents, and then the hand trap I play 3 Imperms. And that's pretty much 45 cards in the main deck. So if you guys noticed, one card you guys didn't see from this list, or a couple cards: Ghost Sisters and Spooky Dogwood, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, Forbidden Chalice, and Evenly Matched. Like, the Ghost Sisters in general, for the sake of the Aroma monsters to benefit, yes, Ghost Sisters is great for the archetype, but it's not wholly necessary because Angelica is a card. Ghost Ogre, on the other hand, space issues, because there's no way for me to cut down to 40 in due time for one. And then Forbidden Chalice, there's no space. And then Evenly, it just doesn't do enough for me right now, because if the opponent puts up negates against at least like 1 or 2 evenly, you will never resolve that evenly match. So hence why I wasn't able to cut down certain cards in order for the cards that I mentioned to fit in. So, and then extra deck, Rose Spectra done for the sake of Ready Fuse. Aroma Lilith Magnolia, you usually fusion summon off from Blend in terms of Miracle Fusion, while your life is higher anyways. Magnolia is downright broke because does not target, does not destroy, banish based off from the number of wins cards you have. So if you have fully up to 3, you can literally banish 3 cards your opponent controls, most likely by paying 2,000, which is crazy. Aromatherapy Rosemary, Sweet Marjoram, Circle of the Fairies, the 3 plant synchros. Rosemary was made because of a beater. Sweet Marjoram was only there for anti-target, which she was made 99.99% of the time in terms of plant synchros. And then Circle of the Fairies doesn't come up at all, sadly. And then for the plant XZ, Teardrop, Sacred Tree Beast Hyperiton, Queen of the Night, Aurea, Kanzeshi, Strenna, and Black Ship. Aside from the usual standalone Rikka XZs being Teardrop, Kanzeshi, and Strenna, self-explanatory. And then Queen of the Night, this card comes up past turn 3 or later, because the moment my opponent's setting a card, I can just have Queen of the Night to target and lock up that set spell trap card that my opponent just set, which is crazy. And then the 300 boost can be okay, but it's not wholly needed anymore because Magnolia can do the boost now when it comes to gaining life points, which is crazy. And then Book of Moon, any plants in general, You hardly ever come across plants in general unless it's like trap tricks or the mirrors. So that way you don't have to worry about plant link shenanigans doing combos when you already had an established field. And then Aurea, this is for turn 3 or later when it comes to bouncing back cards that doesn't destroy, so that way it doesn't gain any value from this. And then Black Shippercorn, it was never made. And then Kanzeshi, once or twice in the middle of a combo, Kanzeshi came up just so that she was willing to be traded off for the Rosemary Link 3 or Jasmine, which we will get into. So that way you usually end on tons of negates and then this as a saving grace and so on. And then Black Shippercorn, it was never made. And then the plant links, Jasmine, Rosemary Link 3, self-explanatory. And then Sylvan Dance Peon, this is the card I was talking about in conjunction with Bao Baboon and Fragrance Storm. These two cards equals 100% guaranteed top deck hit a plant. And based off from the whole entire extra deck about what was not made, one of those two needs to get cut. But otherwise, this has been James Polk with the unique plant link deck profile, aka Aroma Rikka. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you haven't already, smash the notification bell to keep yourself constantly updated. And we'll catch you guys next time.